Hi, in this video, we are going to introduce the new NextLabs Permissions API. NextLabs provides two API options in order for you to integrate your homegrown applications with the NextLabs platform. First, we have the NextLabs Authorization API. Using the NextLabs Authorization API, our application can send a request to the policy controller when the user performs a particular action. The Authorization API will return with an allow or deny decision and a list of obligations. For example, in case of a deny, we can instruct our application to display a user message that that particular action is not allowed. Our second option is the NextLabs Permissions API. Using the Permissions API, our application can send a request to the policy controller to determine what actions are permissible for that user in advance. The request will contain a combination of the user's metadata, application metadata, and in some cases may also include resource metadata. This allows us to determine in advance what actions the users are able to do when the application is loaded or when a file is opened. By being able to do so, we can develop our application such that when the application UI is rendered, actions that the users are not permitted to do are already disabled, thus improving the overall user-friendliness of the applications we are creating. The Permissions API can also be used to create reporting tools that would list down all the permissions a user has or verify what policies are being evaluated for a given set of transactions. Now let's take a look at how the Permissions API work. In our environment, we have two users, John and James. John is a finance manager, while James is a rank-and-file member of the finance team. Our objective is to make sure that all members of the finance team will have read access over the finance documents when using the Web1 application, while the edit action should only be reserved for managers like John. We have created two policies in our Control Center console. The first policy restricts access to all finance documents unless you are a member of the finance department. The second policy restricts the edit action for all users unless you are a manager. We are going to use Postman to show you how we are going to make the API calls and how to interpret its results. Let's take a look at our first example. This evaluation request will be sent immediately after John has logged into the Web1 application and tried to open the test document. Here, we are assuming that all documents in the Web1 application belongs to the finance department. Let's take a look at the contents of this request. The first set of data we are sending identifies our user John. Here, we specify that John is part of the finance department and he is a manager. And lastly, we are going to identify the application being used, in this case, Web1. When we run this request, we get the following response. Here, we see that John is allowed to view and edit the document. It also lists down all the policies that enabled us to determine this list of permissible actions. Now let's run the same thing, but this time for James. Here, we have James, who is part of the finance department, but we did not specify any job functions for him. The other parameters remain the same. The document being accessed is a test document, and the application being used is Web1. When we submit this request, we get the following results. Here, we see that the following actions are allowed for James. He is only allowed to view documents, and these are the matching policies that gave us this decision. And in the following section, we also see the list of actions that are denied for James and the policies that gave us this decision. Now that we know how to get the actions each user can do, we can take these into consideration when rendering the UI. Thank you for watching this short introductory video on Permissions API.